Today I'm in I guess I'm gonna name this like every Sunday. Maybe I'll do a This Week in Awful. We're gonna review the news that our president caused and just generally what happened in the week. Maybe that's what I'll do. Um, for some reason I'm super, but it's so light out. Anyway, today is Earth Day, and it's a beautiful day if you could like look outside. Uh, uh, I would like to talk first about because this morning I woke up and there was this like headline: Donald Trump may pardon Jack Johnson, and I'm like, Jack Johnson, really? Johnson? Does he know who Jack Johnson is? Do anybody know who Jack Johnson is? Because I'll tell you right now, Jack Johnson is amazing. He's one of my favorite historical figures in Black History Month. If you ever like care about Black History Month, or you like Black History Month, or you ever uh, done Black History Month, he is one of the figures that exemplifies what the fuck is wrong with this country. He was I'm gonna read an article, the Washington Post. It will tell you I love the article. It was beautiful. It exemplified everything. Word. You're gonna think I learned a new word, but no, that's not true. I never learn anything now. Just kidding. Okay, the title is Jack Johnson, boxer jailed under Jim Crow, is being considered by Trump for pardon. But this is weird, because this gets weirder. It gets weirder. The reason why he's being considered, the reason why the Trump even bothered to know who the fuck he is, was... Let's start. Trump tweeted Saturday afternoon that he will consider a posthumous you know what I'm trying to say, pardon for Jack Johnson, the boxer, after a call from actor Sylvester Stallone. We live in a weird fucking era where we can read out in a news article that a Sylvester Stallone told the president, "Yo, you should pardon this guy, yo. You should. And why does Sylvester Stallone have his phone, Anyway, who, according to Trump, explained that the fighter's complex, these are in quotes, and controversial life. What exactly? I have a problem with when they put controversial and then you find out, oh, they're just living a normal life, and the controversy is the idiot surrounding him. Basically, I'm not excusing some of I think it was Joe's weirder inclinations. Jack. Fuck is Joe Johnson, the first black heavyweight champion, and I should probably tell you that he was 100 years ago the first black heavyweight champion. The American history is so fucking weird, but interesting. Was convicted in 1913 under the Mann Act, a federal legislation that made it illegal to cross state lines with a woman for the purpose of prostitution or debauchery, or for any other immoral purposes. Jim Crow era prosecutors often used this legislation as a type of anti-miscegenation law. I just love our history. It's just a beautiful, history of destroying people's lives because we couldn't mind our own fucking business. Johnson was widely despised, flaunting his title. I mean, his wealth and his affection for white women. He was convicted by an all-white jury, of course, because that's what they were back then. Johnson spent 7 years abroad as a fugitive before returning to the United States and turning himself in. He only served a year in federal prison. Congressional leaders have sought to pardon Johnson for a year. A bill requesting a pardon from George W. Bush passed in the House of Representatives in 2008, but died in the Senate. A 1,000-page education bill in 2015 included a provision requesting a pardon for Johnson. It called the boxer a flamboyant, defiant, and controversial figure in history in the United States who challenged the racial bias. Senator John McCain in Arizona, former Senator Harry Reid, and along with Congressional Peter King and Gregory Meeks, John Arthur Jack Johnson, nicknamed the Galveston Giant in the ring, was born in 1878, of Houston. By 1903, he became the unofficial Negro heavyweight champion. World heavyweight champion Jim Jeffries refused to fight him, coward. Instead, he retired. But in 1910, Johnson gained the championship belt. Jeffrey emerged from retirement to reclaim his championship for the white race. Okay, like the Great White Hope, that expression, that came from this from Jack Johnson. I saw a documentary on Jack Johnson, and they showed that once he won the heavyweight championship, that the white people were perturbed that he took all their power away because he had a championship belt. Oh no! The ridiculousness of these white people have not changed. Like, these type of white people, you can see that on the internet with the YouTube white guys trying to. They're taking away our shit. Oh, I'm crying because they're taking away my shit. Oh. Basically, that you should see the video of white women and white men all sad and angry because he beat the living shit out of this Jeffries guy. Also, they would to taunt Jack Johnson. If you're not familiar, and I'm gonna use some harsh language because that's how it was. To taunt him, they would throw wrenches. I bet you didn't know. I make a tool called the monkey wrench. I bet you don't know why it's called the monkey wrench. It was because of Jack Johnson, and if you don't know that, back in the day, white people, racist people, would call black people monkeys. They would equate the two to demean them. So they would throw wrenches at him, I guess. They would throw wrenches at him, and that's why it's called the monkey wrench, because it was basically used as a way to demean a black man who beat the shit out of him. Like they had riots. They had riots when he won the heavyweight championship, and these are these white people that complain that their black people riot because they want equality and they're being treated like shit, and they're tired. They riot, and then these well-meaning white people keep saying that you look like savages. To me, what is more savage are the white people that riot because they win a sport event for no fucking reason. And if you think I'm lying, look up the past Super Bowl. The Phillies beat the New York Giants. The Philly Eagles beat the New York Giants, and they almost tore the whole fucking Philadelphia apart because they won. And these are white people, and so the whole that whole stupid shit that people say that when there's riots, because of discrimination and black people get angry, or many or marginalized groups get angry and they riot because of that. people come and chime, and these well-meaning wild people chime in and say that you shouldn't do that because it makes you look bad, but nobody says shit when they riot over stupid shit. There was even a fucking riot here in Connecticut like a few years ago because of pumpkins. White people rioted over pumpkins because there wasn't enough pumpkins for everybody. So shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down and be quiet. Just be quiet. Anyway, yeah. If you ever want to see the documentary, let me find out. Like, it was a PBS documentary of because he's back in the news. They'll probably put it on PBS soon. It could be called the Unforgivable Blackness. I think it might be that one. It has to be that one. It's really good. Anyway, back to the story. Sorry I got, like, deviated, but I had to explain, like... yeah. Some of these terms, like the Great White Hope, the Monkey Wrench, and all these things come from Jack Johnson era, because he was black, and they, for some reason, in that era, they allowed black people... It was supposed to be for, like, showing that the white race is superior, and I guess they underestimated that that's not how that works. And they let Jack Johnson, like, fight a white guy who had the heavyweight championship belt, beat the living shit out of it. If you see him boxing, it's fucking amazing. Nothing. I have never seen a boxer that amazing, and I like boxing. Yeah. So, let's continue. Jeff, it's up to you, a novelist Jack London wrote before the bout, according to NPR. The white man must be rescued. Instead, Johnson pummeled Jeffries for 15 rounds. In the battle of the century, and won the belt outright. 15 rounds, that motherfucking guy's ass kicked in. I would never have whipped Johnson at my best, Jeffries' letter said. I couldn't have hit him. No, I couldn't have reached him in 1,000 years. That's good. The Mann Act was signed just a week prior, though the federal investigators almost immediately began looking into Johnson's romantic life. And here's the thing about that. They were trying to fuck him over. Like, people, this wasn't that long ago. There's probably still people alive from that era. Like, they were children at that era. This wasn't that long ago. And the government used the law to fuck over a black person just because the black person was proving the stupidity that white supremacy, like, it doesn't exist. Like, there is no superior race. There is no such thing. And systemic racism does exist, but apparently nobody, when you try to tell this to these logical YouTubers or commentators on Foxes and conservatives, I don't know what you're talking about. That doesn't exist. You're full of shit. But not true. He married a white woman, Etta Tara Duryea. Sorry about that. I don't know how to pronounce Ryea, so I'm not sure. In 1911, but their relationship was rocky, and she committed suicide a year later. If I remember correctly, there was allegations that, I don't know if, like, later there was allegations that he beat her, or not beat her, sorry, cheated on her. I think he cheated on her. Like, he was that good in the sense of, like the personal relationship. I think he cheated on her a lot. I could be wrong. I could be misremembering the documentary. But, yeah. 3 months after that, he was crazy, by the way, because 1910, flaunting that you're with a white woman, that documentary, I thought they were gonna lynch him, and I think they wanted to lynch him, but he went out his own way. He didn't get lynched by these assholes. 3 months after that, he married Lucille Cameron, who was white. We just have to tell you that. His mother was her mother was kidnapped, but Cameron refused to cooperate with investigators. Oh yes, she was kidnapped by the black man. But law enforcement agents found Bella Schrigberg. Sorry, again with your name. Schreiber, a Chicago prostitute whom Johnson had an affair years earlier. She agreed to testify against him. Agreed, probably she was pressured, like, if you don't fucking do this, we'll arrest you. But, she agreed. Against the boxer in 1913. All-white jury took less than 2 hours to convict him. He skipped bail, my man, after the trial, traveled to South America with Cameron, before surrendering to the American agents at the Mexican border in 1920. He served 1 year in prison in Leavenworth, Kansas, and returned home to find a society and a ring that would not accept him. Before his incarceration, Johnson was known to prance around the ring with swagger. He owned the nightclub with wore a gold tooth. He once reported to purchase a pet leopard and took it to walk with sipping champagne. I love this mother. I love it. And by 1921, he was past his prime, and boxing institutions instituted a stricter color barrier. They did that because they knew black people would beat the flying shit out of these little pasty-ass white motherfuckers. It would be another 16 years until Joe Louis defeats James Braddock in Chicago to win the world heavyweight title. He fought often in private audiences at celebrity appearances, like what are those called? Fuck, I forget the name of those. Until he was 67 in 1945, he died a year later in a car wreck in North Carolina, speeding from a restaurant that refused to serve him. So in the end, he was still being fucking discriminated against. Of course, this was 1945. But, yeah. He died his own way. And yeah, when I was watching the documentary, it would show him that he would get these, like, big pimped out cars. And from the era, which I love those cars from those eras. He would drive them super fast. I was like, I see where this is going. I either knew he was gonna get lynched or he was gonna die in a car accident. And yeah, he died in a car accident. So yeah, Jack Johnson, he is awesome. I think that like his pardon has been like a political tool. Like, should we pardon him? Should we not? Even Obama didn't pardon him for any, I don't know what reason he didn't pardon. It probably was because it was attached with something else. So he's considering it. Trump is considering. Like, people are like, why are everybody yelling at him for he's got to pardon this guy? He's considering it. And nobody's yelling at him because of that. People are suspicious. This man was sued by the U.S. government for being having discriminatory practices in renting and housing practices. So he's a racist. So I don't know if he will or will not. I bet you $5. $5 He doesn't even know who he is. He just listens to the first person that talks to him and the last person that talks to him. Fucking Sylvester Stallone called him, said this shit, and Trump doesn't know who he is. I bet you he doesn't know who he is. So when he figures out who he is, he'll be like, man, I don't think I will. And if he does pardon him, well, good for Jack Johnson getting pardoned. Like what? 100 years later? For something he didn't do? Because he didn't do anything. He was having a consensual relationship with women. White women. Ooh, spooky. But yeah, that's it. Now I'm gonna move over to the big news this week, which Barbara Bush's funeral. She passed away in 92. She died her own way. My girl, she died her own way. I am not against her in the sense that, like, I'm not going to yell at her for dying. She wasn't a good person in the slightest. But I'm not going to, I'm not going to be like... Like, if her son dies, though, I'm not going to sugarcoat that motherfucker's death, so... And it's not because she's a woman that I'm being easy on her. It's not because of that. It's because of other issues. Like whatever. Well, I'm meandering. Let's go on. Life goes on. The big story was the funeral. Our president didn't go, but Melania went. Melania went alone, and there was this photo floating around yesterday. Besides George Bush Sr. Next to his wife's casket, which is a very solemn and sad picture. There was this picture of Melania and Obama, Trump's most hated enemy, talking to his wife, and she was smiling, and he was happy, and they were laughing. And everybody, and then the internet exploded with memes. It's nice to have like a happy thing come out of a shitty situation. There was this photo also, like this big photo, which was George Bush Sr., Jr., Melania, Michelle Obama, and the Clintons, and Laura Bush, all together, smiling, because and everybody's like, yeah, motherfuckers going to jail, and they're laughing about that, and I'm laughing about that. That was a fun, cute thing to happen at the funeral. And I like the Melania. Every time the fucking president decides to be a little whiny little bitch and not go to these things, Melania has to do all the work. It's almost like when we're in the time of Woodrow Wilson, when Woodrow had that massive stroke. And we basically didn't have a president in that interim when he did have that stroke. But the president was kind of a woman because his wife would sign the papers for him and oversee a lot of laws and not laws, but legislation and diplomatic shit for him. So we had it's an interesting thing you should watch. I watched the documentary on that too. It was the Roosevelt one, the Ken Burns Roosevelt, mega epic documentary that he did. Yeah, it was amazing. I don't understand why people avoid his story, reading about history, learning about history. History is amazing, and the kids that will have to learn from this historical this historical time, are gonna be like, what the fuck happened? When we judged the 30s Germany and Europe, when we were little, what the fuck happened that they let the fucking Nazis take over everything? Basically that. But with Trump and his whatevers. Now I'm gonna move on to what our president said this morning. Let me look at his stupid tweets. Okay, wait, our president... Oh, God. Anyway, apparently he added a new tweet. But I'm going to start out with his tweets and then read an article about North Korea. Because this is about North Korea. You may have heard that our president said, and some idiot said, oh God, he finally ended the North Korean conflict with the denuclearization of the area. No, but we'll get to that. Sleepy Eyes chucked out of fake news to NBC just stated that we have given up so much in our negotiations with North Korea, and they've given up nothing. Wow, we haven't given up anything. They have agreed to denuclearization. So good for the world. This was in brackets. That's so good for the world. So great for the world. Site closure. And no more testing. After that one, we are a long way from the conclusion on North Korea. Maybe things will work out. He kind of stepped back on his, like not even that fucking long from what he wrote, the other one. Maybe they won't. Only time will tell. But the work I'm doing now should be done a long time. Should have been done a long time ago. Honey, forget it. I can die happy now with the sharp job performance, stated Mary Bell, and a great overall president start. Thank you, Mary. And then after that, just 30 minutes ago, a complete witch hunt. Our president's mind is full of cats. Anyway, let's there's this article by The Atlantic that I'm about to read for you. Shit, don't do that. Don't. Okay. The title's kind of basically says it all. North Korea is not denuclearizing. The Trump administration shouldn't get too excited about Kim Jong-un's pledge to limit his weapons program. And this is true. Because they always say this. Every time they get caught, like every fucking administration that catches them doing shit like this, and they threaten to escalate, or they basically go to, yo, China, do something about your fucking child up there in the North Korea. And China's like, okay. And then they're like, yo, Kim, calm the fuck down. And then Kim has to say, fine. And then Kim calms the fuck down, but he really doesn't. He just pretends. He doesn't do the big displays of shooting rockets to Japan or shooting the rockets into the ocean. What this is all a display of power that he wants to put to the West and to his own people. That he's not a pelele, as in Spanish we call him pelele. Pendejo, idiot, a useless person. He's trying to bolster his self like the rooster, like widens his chest, like, what, motherfucker? What? I'm gonna fight you. That's all. That is all Kim is doing. That is all he does. And this, like, also the whole meeting North Korea thing. He keeps saying nobody has done it before. There is a reason why past presidents haven't done it before. Because he doesn't want a deal. It's all a fucking joke. Our past 4 months, North Korea has been saying all the right things after weeks of silence regarding his intention of coming summit in North Korea and the United States. Kim Jong-un and the leader of the North Korea made a dramatic announcement Saturday morning pledging unilateral limits of his nuclear weapons. And I want to talk about this thing, an Iran deal. If everyone remembers the Iran deal that Obama did with, like, it was a diplomatic deal that was supposed to, like, stop Iran from getting nuclear weapon. We're gonna talk about that later. Though the announcement is widely hailed as encouraging, President Trump declared the sign of big progress. It does not, in fact, set up the path for denuclearization. It does, however, open the door to tapping Kim's arsenal, keeping America and its allies safer. Talks are underway. Does it, though? Does it cap the arsenal? No. Maybe he stops publicly doing shit, but he will continue to do it like underneath. Speaking before the Central Committee of this country's governing party, Kim declares 6 so-called decisions, this is in quotes, and a nuclear weapons policy. This includes declaration that North Korea was satisfied with its existing nuclear warhead design. Okay. And has discontinued all nuclear and intercontinental range ballistic missiles tests and closes nuclear test site. Oh, fuck, it's a Korean name. Pyongyang, I think. Sorry. Kim also announced that North Korea would suspend nuclear testing and reiterated that his commitment is not to use nuclear weapons unless there is a nuclear threat. And to stop the proliferation of nuclear technology. In addition, he said North Korea would concentrate on developing its economy and improving dialogue with its neighbor countries. Yeah. Suspension of the nuclear, how can, like, that should be on the table, by the way. To embargo with North Korea, it doesn't work. It never has. Fucking Cuba, it never worked. It never fucking worked. If you give them access to other things like food, advancement in their economy, the people might get some. The people that you're hurting are the normal people, not the people in charge. The people in charge are just gonna hoard all this shit and supplies to themselves, and then the people on the ground are starving and are stuck in this regime. You're not helping anybody. Like, I don't understand embargoes. Have they ever? The suspension of the nuclear and ICBM testing would represent a significant restriction on North Korea's nuclear activities. But these are proposals to shape an arsenal rather than eliminate it, meaning that North Korea still has yet to say anything publicly intent on, and they won't. They won't. They've seen what happened to Gaddafi. They've seen what happened to Saddam. They've seen what happens to dictators that were put there by the U.S. They've seen that the U.S. will fucking destroy you. If they have something to fight against that, they will use it. This is not me endorsing nuclear weapons and endorsing them having it. I don't think anybody should have nuclear weapons. I think the Donald Trump presidency has shown us that a crazy motherfucker getting up there, and that'll be the end of all of us. So nuclear weapons is not the way. No. While Kim did say that Pyongyang supported the vision of the global disarmament, this is a common trope in North Korea propaganda. Thank you for saying that. It suggests that North Korea will soon call for its tit-for-tat arm controls with the U.S. Exactly what I was saying earlier. And I don't know if we should keep reading. No, I don't think I should. Like, the point is simple. North Korea won't stop. The people who should pressure are Russia and China, because they're allies with North Korea. And Russia ain't gonna do jack shit. And China won't either, because China is trying to be the world leader now. And it won't do shit. They tell Kim to calm down from time to time, but that's about it. And there was other shit that happened this week. A president called a person a drug basically a crackhead. It's like the president that's trying to stop the opioid crisis has a very closed-minded way of thinking of drug addict people, and he's a drug addict himself because he's a fucking cokehead. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. So the president of the United States. Let's see if I can find the fucking. There was also that whole. They leaked Comey's memos. I think it was Nunes, not Nunez, because Nunez, he doesn't have the nya. So Nunes leaked memos, but he didn't censor them correctly, redact them correctly. So information that they didn't want to come out came out. It was supposed to discredit Comey. It didn't. They're trying to discredit Comey. President Trump is furiously trying to fire Rosenstein so he can fire Mueller. Jefferson Boulder Sessions III threatened to quit if he does that. Like, all this shit that I'm telling you was just this week, and it feels like a month. The news just keeps coming out and coming out and coming out. It's so exhausting. That's why I decided to do these live streams to talk about it and get it out of my system. Cause goddamn. Ugh. Also, this morning, there was a shooting at the Waffle House. And you might be asking yourself, people that don't live in America, and parts of America that have Waffle Houses, because I don't think we have Waffle Houses up here in the north. Wait, wait a minute. Manhunt for a naked gunman who shot four people dead and injured 7. So apparently this guy was naked. If I remember the details correctly, he went to a Waffle House in Texas? Was this Texas? I'm not sure. Nashville, so Tennessee. It was a T. He disarmed. There was this guy who disarmed him, and there's a picture of him. I wish I could. Wait, I could probably show you. It. If I don't mess things up. Let's see. Can I turn it around? Can I turn it around? Okay. No, that's not. Oh. Come on! Okay, here we go. There he is. he looks like someone I know, which is interesting. But yeah, he tackled the dude. He tackled the dude to disarm. It was an AR. Let me turn it back around. It was an AR-15. It was AR-15. He tackled the motherfucker, took the gun away. He was not armed. There is no such thing as a good guy with a gun stopping a bad guy with the gun. It's just a good person that stops a bad guy with a gun. Yeah, this is like another topic for fucking other video because it's just. It's gun control. It has to do with gun control. And holy shit, is gun control such a taboo subject in this country? It's fucking depressing. But four more people are dead because we can't fucking stop this. And this guy, why is he naked? That's the most perplexing part of the story. But the guy... Let's see if I could get the article. I read it quickly because my phone is hot. Manhunt for the. Let me see if it doesn't start making noise. A naked man who shot 4 dead, injured 7 after opening a fire with an AR-15. It looks like these. Like, hold on. Pause. These motherfuckers all look the same. All these shooters look the same. Look at this. Look at this guy. Look at him. He looks the same as every other fucking shooter. Why? I don't understand. Turn back to me, please. I know I'm not that pretty, but I don't want to keep looking at him. But yeah, 4 shot dead, and others were injured after a naked man opened fire at the Tennessee Waffle House. This is like a headline from What the Fuck is Wrong with You with Nash and Tara. Except that people died and he wouldn't read that. But, like, the naked part in a Waffle House. What the fuck happened here? Authorities have since identified Travis Ranking, 29, a person of interest in the... he's a person of interest. So... that doesn't mean he did it or, like, but, he's a person of interest. Shots rang in the restaurant in Antioch, near Nashville, around 3 a.m. Of course, it's 3 fucking a.m. in the night. Poor people, like, eating there. Shot rang at the restaurant. A man was only clothed in a green jacket, armed with an AR-15. So what is the mentality there? I'm gonna go get me some waffles. I don't need pants. Also, let me take my AR-15 with me, because fuck it. And I'm gonna shoot people because it's fun. I mean, we don't know anything yet. When it comes to shootings, there are several things that you need to, like... keep in mind. Like, the first few hours after the shooting, there's going to be a lot of misinformation because the news is going to try to put whatever they can get up there so people get information, and there's always going to be like, there was 2 shooters, there was yeah, 2 shooters. But usually there's like this misinformation that happens. And that's how conspiracy theorists happen, but most of the time, the information in the first few hours, if it's a mass shooting, you be a little, like, take it with a grain of salt, but also don't think that everything is a lie. Is all I can think. Waffle House. Was your life so sad? So pathetic that you just had to go and kill people at a Waffle House? Oh, I forgot to put the name of the guy who saved everybody else from the asshole. His name is James Shaw Jr. And he doesn't think he's a hero, but the cops called him a hero. I call him a hero. He's cool. I think that people are getting tired of this situation, because if you don't know, in America, there's always like a shooting every other month, if not every month, and almost always, not always, has an AR-15. Like the Stonewall Douglas school children, like earlier this year, like every year, you notice that? Well, not every year, but these past 2 years, in 2017, massive children were killed in Ariana Grande concert by a bomb by a terrorist. Children were killed. And the beginning of the year, this year, these poor children were killed in the Stonewall Douglas were killed. It's just, what is wrong with us? Why are we living in this constant era of... It's not even fear. We're getting tired, obviously, because this kid, or this man, jumped up, said, "Fuck you," and I'm leaving. And then in the Stonewall Douglas shootings, this other kid held the door and got shut up. He's doing better. He's alive and he's doing better, but he got shut up but he held that damn door shut. He didn't let those motherfuckers in. So, that motherfucker, because I think it was one guy. Yeah, it was one guy, sorry. He didn't let that motherfucker in. I'm confusing the Columbine shootings with that, because it was an anniversary recently. And there's that, the Columbine. When I grew up, when I was growing up, 1999, Columbine happened. And the images of what happened that day are ingrained in my head. The child that they pulled off window because he was stuck there after he was shot up. The bodies, the shooters. It's nothing has changed. 20 plus years, not 20 plus, it's like less than 20 years, but almost 20 years, and nothing has changed. We haven't done a damn thing for our children. We haven't saved our children from something that we can do to stop. It's easy. Sensible fucking gun laws. Make them go to the DMV. Get a fucking license. Prove that you have a right and you know how to use that license. Keep reviewing them like you do with people with people with gun. Get rid of the AR-15. We don't need an AR-15 in civilian situations. If you're ex-military and you can prove that you can have and you don't have any psychological issues that will cause problems for us with you having a weapon, fine. Yeah. Sensible gun laws. We want sensible gun laws. We want sense. Like, this week, I guess I'm just gonna call it this series This Week in Awful every Sunday, I guess. I have another channel. Tonight they're gonna give a show, mini-series about Luis Miguel. If you don't know who he is, I understand. He's a Spanish icon. But I'm gonna review today's first episode on my other channel, because this is my political channel and all that stuff. And the other channel is my regular fun review stuff, because you need to decompress from the awfulness. So thank you for watching me. This almost went an hour long. Jeez. But thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to. Of course, if you want to. Please tell me what I want, like what you want me to cover. Tell me how to improve myself. I want to improve. And I also want to learn. So tell, like, subjects that you want me to read up on, discuss. I want to mostly just have discussions. Kind of like, I think my friend probably sent me something about Trump. I just want to have discussions, like, T.I. or T.J. Janitor, I forget his name, but he was on ContraPoints, and he has, like, discussions, and yeah, I want to have discussions. I want to tackle these subjects without, like, screaming fests or making money off of tragedies, or making money off, not tragedies, but yeah, but making money off of discord, like the division in today's, like, issues. Like, I'm not saying that I'm not delusional. I know that I'm starting out and this is nothing, but I'm talking about, like, the bigger channels that just make money off of the division of today. And I just like, it sounds stupid and it sounds too hopelessly optimistic, but I do want to bring people together. Maybe it'll just bring the left together. Fine. We need to be together. We need to fucking fight for our rights. We need to move forward. We need to fix the issues that the right is causing. Just destroying our country. Destroying all the progress that we all made in the past, and not that far past, because we the left, we the progressives, we got gay marriage passed in this country, in the United States. So to go from that high to Donald Trump was very devastating for me. So yeah, laugh it up. I cried when he won. My friend keeps fucking show. I cried a lot, and I cried a lot the first 2 days. Then I got really angry for like months. And now I'm still angry, but I want to use my anger for good. I really do. I want good to come out of this. I want us to finally learn the lesson that we need to learn, that we've been trying to learn for decades. Progress is good. Change is good. God damn it, my friend is keeping distracting me. Progress is good. Change is good. Having marginalized groups is bad. Helping marginalized groups be better and improve and not have to be screwed under a systemic racism, a systemic sexism, a systemic whateverism that brings them down. It hurts white people too, by the way. This stuff, it doesn't help anybody in any way, shape, or form. But please, let us come together and help fix this. I also started to do this because this year we have midterm elections. And midterm elections are always, when like categorically always low turnout voting because nobody gives a shit. We should give a shit this year. We should give, holy shit, should we give a shit? And we should like sign everybody to vote and get those Republicans out of the majority, because they clearly cannot have the majority. They clearly don't know what the fuck they're doing. They do know what the fuck they're doing, and what they're doing ain't good for us. It ain't good for anybody. So we gotta stop them. And we will. And we will. Because always the left wins. In my opinion, good always overcomes evil. It's a childish sentiment, but it's a good one. And we need to do it. We can do it. We need to do it. We have to do it. We gotta overcome and do it. We gotta do it. We do it. We do it. But okay. I had a lot of fun today. I don't know why. I thought that I wasn't going to, but yeah, I love live streaming, and I would like to keep doing this. So, and I can. So I will. I just wish it was better. I wish it was like a lot better than it is. So it doesn't, look so shitty. Look at the swords, and look at my window, and look at my plant. I really need to fix my beautiful plants. So, see you. Bye. I said bye, but it takes like a minute for this to stop. Bye.